Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Troilus Gold's channel, advancing significant precious metal projects in mining-friendly Quebec. Joining us, we have the privilege of Justin, the Chief Executive Officer today. Welcome, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Living the dream as always, and yourself?
About the same, about the same.
All right, so last we spoke, we got a little bit of an introduction to yourself and kind of a brief intro to the company, but today I want to kind of deep dive down into what's going on under the hood there at Troilus by really breaking down your project. So we're going to brief kind of on a few slides from your investor presentation here. First and foremost, kind of just give us an introduction to the property type and what's going on in Quebec here.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to start. So this slide that you just put up is the Abitibi. In green. The Abitibi is one of the most prolific gold belts in the history of the world. Over the last 100 years, it's produced well over 200 million ounces, and as you can see, has some of the best known gold ore bodies ever produced. We're in the Fort Evans belt, right to the north. Same rock, same age, same everything. The only difference is we are buried under about 15 to 20 meters of gravel. And so if you think about the history of exploration, the easy ounces have been found. And now with modern exploration techniques, we're able to look farther and deeper. The Fort Evans Greenstone Belt is becoming a significant focus of future exploration. This slide is our land package. Over the last 4 years, we started with 50,000 hectares. We're now at 142,000 hectares, over 1,400 square kilometers. We acquired, staked, purchased this expansive belt, mainly because we had such success at the ore body itself, expanding, that we realized very little work has been done regionally. And so we're looking at an area now that's under or unexplored, kind of 3 times the size of the entire GTA.
Yeah, it's a really interesting visual there. But yeah, so this is kind of all set up with the infrastructure as well, right? Like you guys are in a really good spot here.
Yeah, and in a slide or two, we'll talk about the history, but unlike a lot of other developers, we've inherited and we've upgraded the infrastructure that we have. What that does is it basically provides you an insurance policy in this inflationary environment. A lot of money that needs to be spent has already been spent. We have 60 kilometers of power line to site, 3.2 cents a kilowatt hour. What that means is the cheapest power in the world. It's hydro, it's green, it's from Quebec. 40 kilometers of road. A new road today would cost $1.5 million US a kilometer to build. Substation is a $20 million item. Camp, facilities, water, septic, sewer, all that fun stuff. But even probably more importantly, though, is under these pictures, is 6.5 square kilometers of fully permitted tailings. And when you get into mining and investment, tailings and tailings storage is always a big issue and a big capital item. Ours is in place. We have life of mine capacity, which means we don't have to expand it. We'll go up, but we won't go out. And it's fully permitted. So from that standpoint, we're ahead of the game. We value this at a minimum of US $350 million. So to put it another way, that's twice our market cap.
Yeah.
This is a great section just to remind the viewer where we are. We have over 8.1 million ounces after 250,000 meters of drilling, all open pittable material, and you can see it stretched out over the 7 kilometers. We're currently drilling in the gap zone. We believe that the potential for continuity is there. The southwest, a new resource will come out very shortly in July, and that resource is going to show some major expansion as all of this drilling comes in. So, I think the real purpose of this slide is just to give you scale and scope, and to show you where we haven't drilled. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see that there's some major holes there that need some infilling. And what that means is life and longevity and scale. The history, and this is one of the great kind of opportunities, I guess, and was our opportunity. The mine was discovered in the mineralization was discovered in the 50s. The mine wasn't really discovered until the mid 80s. Put into production in the mid 90s, produced for 14 years, produced 2 million ounces of gold and 70,000 tons of copper. It was operated by a company called Inmet. Inmet was a global base metal company. They put a gold mine into production because they wanted the gold multiple in the market. So it was almost more of a corporate objective rather than call it a financial objective. At the same time, they were exploring and developing a mine called Cobre Panama, which is now the 6th largest copper mine in the world. That ownership resulted in the hostile merger or takeover by First Quantum in 2012. And First Quantum shut down the mine, put it on care and maintenance. We came in privately. We picked it up for not a lot, $300,000 cash. And what we really found was the work that hadn't been done. And so jump forward to today, that opportunistic buy privately has resulted in, knocking on 10 million ounces of potentially one of the largest open pit producers in Canada.
Yeah, that's incredible. So yeah, I guess we could talk a little bit about the growth perspective here. I think you did touch on some of this with the other slide, but maybe just brief here as well.
Yeah, so that success I just explained over the last 2 slides forced us just intuitively to grab the 1,400 square kilometers. We've had some big success over the last 2 years. To find an area called Bayan and Cressidia, which shows us the same grade, same scale that we're seeing at the main mine, about 8 kilometers away. Over at Testard, which is kind of area 3, we found a brand new zone, never discovered before, very high grade gold. We've done some initial drilling. The potential for another deposit is there. And then obviously in the southwest, all those little kind of orangey, bronzy dots are targets. And so we have a huge portfolio of projects. And so our thesis is that Troilus is not a mine. Troilus is a district, and it's just going to take time and drilling. We have a 98% hit rate on our drilling. So that means that we are intersecting gold in 98% of our holes. That's a pretty, if I had that in school, I could be a doctor.
Yeah, for sure. So do you want to talk about the production profile? I guess because you guys do have a little bit of extension here with copper and silver as well.
Yeah, so this production profile is from our PA. Our PA is 2 years ago. That showed a 14-year-old open pit averaging about 230,000 ounces a year, then going underground. We've had such success that you're going to see this change. In July, when our pre-feasibility comes out, we're going to show you a 20-year plus open pit at that 220 to 250,000 ounces a year, plus copper, plus silver. And we're not even going to talk about the underground. So the underground will be optionality for the future. The ranking of Troilus will be in the top 5 to 10 in Canada going forward. And so this is a generational asset of scale. And we're still in the very early innings.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody listening to this would love to hear that. It's very interesting comparison. Just to finish up here, do you want to kind of just give us a framework? I mean, we really kind of did already, but from where you guys were, where you're going here, maybe just to summarize this up.
Yeah, so I mean, we really started with an old asset with no reserves that had been shut down. A huge amount of drilling and acquisitions and all the studies and investigations that go with that really have led us to 2022. That's 250,000 meters of drilling, which is the 2nd largest drill program in Quebec, behind our good friends at Osisko. You are going to see a new mineral resource out in July, and you're going to see our pre-feasibility out in July. These are 2 major events for us, as you know, it's going to give us our first reserve, which is the economic ounces. It's going to give a continued scale and growth, and it's going to show you the economics around it, which are going to be pretty remarkable. So lots to go. We've just filed all of our permits. We have a whole team working on permitting this mine, and we also still have 4 drills going. So we haven't just stopped exploring and ready to build a mine. All those other areas I hit on, we're going to show you some new discoveries and expansions. So it's going to be a very exciting time for us.
I really appreciate these insights today, Justin. When we come back, we're going to be deep diving down into more of the financials. We'll get into your balance sheet a little bit, cap structure as well. But at this point, I do want to pass the question off to the viewers. We'd love to know what you guys think about all of us in that comment section below. Consider subscribing, because as news continues to come down the wire, as we get those PEAs, we'll obviously update you here. But on that note, stay cool, stay awesome. And as always, I look forward to catching you in the next one.